Well, the owners on Tuesday approved the competition committee's proposal to make extra points more challenging, snapping them from the 15-yard line. In recent seasons, kickers made more than 99% of the kicks with the ball snapped from the 2-yard line. The accepted proposal places the two-point conversion at the 2 and allows the defense to return a turnover to the other end zone for the 2 points, similar to the college rule. The defense can also score 2 points by returning a botched kick. So here is the question, now that the rule is in place. What impact, if any, will this rule change have? I'll start with you first, Mark.
Carrie, it's a huge impact. I think we're going to see more 2 points because the kick is no longer a guarantee. It's not 99.1 or whatever it was. Right. It's about 91%. A lot of that depends on who your kicker is, where you're playing. I mean, these decisions will come down to, obviously, the score. Right. It'll come down to the weather. Is it windy? Does your kicker have a strong leg? Right. Is he accurate? Right. So I think you'll see it. The onus clearly is on the coach. He'll have some tough decisions. There will be games that will be decided on his decision there at the end and through the course of the game. But I think you'll see more 2-point plays because, again, it's not a guaranteed kick anymore.
Right.
91% is pretty good. Yeah. But
although
you can miss those.
Last year, they made 39 of 41, 33 yards.
Yeah. So
game conditions, Skip.
And you're right.
Wind,
if you're at
cold
Soldier
weather.
Field in December and it's swirling.
If you're a kicker for Chicago, Pittsburgh, or teams like that, and it's December, January, you got to think about it.
So you think we will see more 2-point tries?
I think there will be an increase, not a huge increase, and I think that's exciting.
Yeah, I would say that'll make the game better.
It'll make the game more exciting. After a touchdown, you know, the fans are going up to get some popcorn and a hot dog or something like that. They're going to stay
it's not a given.
And watch it. It's not a given, so you have to watch it. It's no guarantee. So there'll be an increase, but not huge.
What if they'd moved the 2-point try from the 2 to the 1-yard line?
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Do you think that would have been like Arena League bogus, you know, like just silly rules, you know?
Yeah.
Is that how you would look at that?
I don't know about silly rules. I mean, for me, forget about the yard line. Forget about the, you know, moving it back or 2 points. If you really wanted to make this thing interesting, narrow the goalposts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You find out who the good kickers are in the league. Take them in about a foot and a half or 2 feet on each side. That is what makes things very interesting. They didn't go down that road. They wanted to change. Who knows how long this rule will stay in effect? Maybe they try it out for a year, but I think it makes the game a little more interesting. It adds some drama to what normally is a pretty boring play.
And now you've made it a live ball, so you can return it for 2 points the other
the other way if you want to.
Defenses are excited about that.
Right, they're ready for it.
So now we've at least added a touch more drama to this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Now I'm going to go way out there. I'm going to seize this opportunity.
Wait, what do you mean you're going to go way out there?
I'm going way out there because I've done this before. I've written this for ESPN.com, and I'm going to seize this opportunity to make my case and my plea one last time. My friend Jay Feely somewhere is watching this in Phoenix saying, "Oh, just shut your mouth." But I have never liked place kicking in the sport of football.
Right.
That's been gimmicky to me from the start. Yeah. To put these uprights up there, that's Arena League-ish to me. To have uprights that you send some little guy onto the field. Sometimes they're not little guys, but they really don't play football to me. Even though Jay Feely is a really good athlete, and maybe he could have been the third string safety for the New York Giants when he played for Tom Coughlin, because he always says he was.
Right.
But Jay's a really good athlete. Really good soccer player, really good golfer. Right. I get all that. Is he a really good football player? No.
He's not a football player.
Thank you.
He's a kicker.
He's a kicker. So we know that. You know that.
Sorry, Jay.
Oh,
but
boy.
That's the mentality you always had from Little League on, you know, up through high school. They're the kicker.
Yeah.
Okay, why are they involved to start with? So to me, the game would be more fun, more exciting, if you now punting I'm great with, because punting is strategic and it's calculated and we're trying to pin you back at your 1-yard line. I get punting.
Sure.
But if you eliminated place kicking completely from the equation, then you're driving the ball, Mark Brunell's at the helm, and all of a sudden it's 4th and 3 at their 30. Okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, coach? Because you have no choice but to go for it. you're at the 24, whatever, and it could be a long football in the good old days, but no more good old days. Now you have to, these are the good old days, the good new days. You have to go for it on 4th and 3. And if you convert, which is possible, you get to keep driving the football until you get it in the end zone and score. And then when you do score, the extra point or points, if you want to call it 2, go ahead and put the ball to 2, and you have to go for it again for extra points. You can add on 2 more points to your total, or if you want to make that a single point. I don't care what you call that point. Whatever, it's from the 2-yard line, and it's a football play that you have to make. So I will be ecstatic if there are more 2-point tries because it's an actual football play as opposed to lining up and having one guy kneel and catch the snap, as you often did yourself.
I was a holder.
I know, I know. I get
my
it.
feelings.
Yeah, well, but
That's the only way I got on the field for a few years.
It's not your fault. You're just going along with the flow of this silly gimmick.
It's not your fault.
Okay?
That's all I did.
But what a silly gimmick. And then you actually put your fingertip on top of this oblong ball and hold it on the ground while this guy who doesn't actually play football boots it between these upright. That's how you score the game. And in the end, the way it's set up right now, the kicker becomes the MVP in the game because invariably in these close NFL games that we have, it comes down to the kicker making it from 33 or 43 yards, and everybody's on the edge of their seats for the wrong reasons because he should not have that much impact on the scoreboard and on the outcome of the game. And I've always said, if a Martian came down today and watched an NFL game, the Martian would say, interesting. That little man who runs on the field, he's the most valuable player on the team, isn't he? Is he the highest paid guy? No, he's the lowest paid guy, right? Well, what are you doing? Because he wins and loses games. Why don't you eliminate the little guy trotting up? I'm sorry, Jay Feely, I know you've made good money in the NFL.
Skip, you're going to have to apologize to a lot more people than just Jay. There are kickers at every level right now that are just not a big fan.
We keep trying to figure out how to make the extra point kick more exciting. Just do away with it.
No point.
No, seriously. At least do away with that part of it. If you want to keep the 48-yard field goals and all that, fine, for 3 points. But why not do away with the extra point kick? I still think it'll be mostly automatic. And make everybody do the more exciting thing, which is you got to figure out a play to score from the 2-yard line to add on your extra, in this case, points, right?
All right.
I mean, is that not...
Is that fair?
No, it's not fair. It's ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous.
You talk about being out there. I can't even wrap my mind around it.
Really?
Well, you know, we're taking the kickers out and
but you just said they don't. You just said they're not football players.
They're not football players,
right?
But you need them. One thing about kickers.
Need them? A necessary evil?
Well, yeah, I got to a Super Bowl because of a kicker.
Aha!
Karen Hartley.
Well, that was his whole point. They have so much impact on the game.
Yeah, they do. Listen, you don't want to be a kicker, and you make fun of kickers, and you tease them that they're not football players.
Thank you.
But they are a pivotal part of your team. You've got to have a good one. You don't have a good, not as important as a quarterback, but if you don't have a good kicker, you can lose a lot of football games.
Why, in reality, they should be the $20 million player. Seriously. And then everybody undervalues them. When it's time, they're dime a dozen. We'll get another guy off the street. You will? He's going to win and lose football games for you, and you're just going to go pick another guy off the street? Because we know they kind of go south mentally all of a sudden. And
yeah, they're a little different breed.
You know what? I hate it. It ruins football for me. It always has. I don't get it.
You clearly disagree.
I clearly
keep the kicker.
I mean,
they should not eliminate it.
We've had kickers since the beginning of NFL football. It's just what we do. It's a part of it. I can't wrap my mind around it. I can't depart from what has been tradition in the NFL. I understand your point.
As a quarterback, as you kept getting to 4th and 3 at the 28, wouldn't you love to go for it?
What's the score?
Any score. You always had to go for it.
I want to win.
No matter what.
I want to win.
So would you want to go for it or win a kick?
As the player?
Yeah.
You always want to go for it. Let me stay on the field. Put it in my hands. We went all this way.
Yep.
Let us finish this thing.
Is there a method?
Strategy comes
a method to his madness? Is there a method?
Maybe a little.
Okay.
It's out there now. There's a little.
Here's the flip side of the kicker who got you to the, where did you say he won you which? He got
Super Bowl.
To the Super Bowl, yeah.
Garrett won.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, got you. Okay, I got it. The downside to that is how many of those guys have let teams down and left them deflated after the football players fought their guts out for 60 minutes, or almost to the last second, 59-59. And then the little non-football player trots on the field, and he's wide right. Ask the Buffalo Bills, right? And it devastates an entire fandom because it came down to the wrong guy doing what I think is the wrong thing.
Whoa.
It shouldn't come down to that.
Jay Feely?
It's part of our game.
We love you.
We call
You're
it
mad at Skip,
football.
you can text him.
He's mad at me for other reasons. That's okay.
You have his number, Jay.
Do I?
It's fine. Yeah.
He used to have mine.
Mark Brunell, it's always a pleasure. You're welcome anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Coming up next, LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals once again. Any extra pressure this time around with his new team? Brian Windhorst will join the desk to weigh in. We'll be back in just a few moments.